Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to be unboxing the RG Cube by Anbernic. I'm really excited to unbox this because I've been wanting this for a long time. I also did an unboxing and a review of the Powkiddy RGB30. I will leave a little title there just in case you want to check that out. So let's get straight into the unboxing first and then we'll have a look at the specs and stuff. So I did want the white version of this actual console, but they sent me the black one. I did get some money back on that, but I did pay to the door £128. That's $165 USA, and this is a 256GB model. So let's go ahead and unbox this amazing little device and have a look what we get inside the box. So inside the box you get the console itself, obviously, and then at the bottom here I'm guessing you're gonna get some instruction manuals. Oh, that's kind of neat, you do actually get a screen protector as well, which is really nice. And then obviously some instructions and some little sticky tabs just in case you want to wipe the screen down and stick that on. But yeah, I don't really look at the actual instructions, but they're always good to have. Maybe in a few years time you might need to go back and, you know, check these instructions because you've kind of forgotten how to use it, because a lot of these devices do sit on my actual shelf and I don't actually use them for a long time. This one however is going to be a little bit different, and I'll get into that a little bit further on into the video. Now you also get inside the box a USB Type-C cable, which, you know, I don't tend to use. I do have a universal one that I do use for these types of consoles because the battery size is kind of the same across the board. So yeah, it's always nice to have that, and I always keep them in the boxes just in case I do need to refer to them. Anyway, let's proceed. Okay, so let's take it out the sleeve and have a look. So first impressions, I'm not happy with the actual color itself. I'm not gonna lie, most of my handheld consoles are black, unfortunately, and I did want a white one, but hey, it is what it is. Gotta deal with it and keep rolling with the punches, I guess. It does have a fan on the back here, which is nice, and also a grippy texture for you to hold on to. The trigger buttons themselves are nice, they feel good. We'll find out later how they actually, you know, how they do, but all in all, I do like it. It does have a nice heft to it. The travel distance on the actual action buttons is decent as well. I do like the way they feel. The sticks, a lot of people gave them a lot of stick, but we'll see. They're kind of the standard run-of-the-mill, you know, same as the Nintendo Switch, I guess. But the D-pad here is something that I'm really looking forward to actually test out, because it is a different type of D-pad that Anbernic are starting to use, and I hope it is actually better than the RGB Powkiddy that we, you know, reviewed in the last video. Let's take a look around the device and see what we have here then. So at the top we have the actual charging port, which is USB Type-C, the memory card slot, and also a headphone jack. Now this one that I bought did come with a 256GB card, which is non-branded, but it does the job. I will change it, I always change them eventually, but just haven't had the time to actually do that just yet, but it's on my to-do list. We also get the grill here for the fan to let out the air, and at the bottom we have the down-facing speakers, which we'll check out later on in the video. On the side here we have the power button and also the volume up and volume down buttons as well, which are nicely pressed into the actual casing itself, so you're not gonna have any issues pressing those whilst you're playing. The RG Cube is running a Unisoc T820 8-core CPU, a Mali G57 quad-core GPU, and an 8GB LPDDR 4x RAM. The screen size on this actual particular device is a unique screen. It's 720p, 3.95 inches, and it's also an IPS display with a 1:1 aspect ratio, which also has a touchscreen and a 5200 mAh battery, which Anbernic says lasts around 7 hours, but it depends on your, you know, what you play and stuff. In my case, I was getting around 4 to 5 hours. So in terms of systems, it plays NES, Sega Master System, PC Engine, Capcom CPS1, Sega Genesis, and the list goes on. So your hard hitters are on this actual device, and we'll check a lot of those out now. So without further ado, let's check out some games. The first game I'm going to check is Street Fighter Third Strike, and this is on CPS3. And when you first load the game up, you're going to get these little overlays at the bottom. You can actually change those by going into the menu and changing it out, which I'm going to do because I don't like those little, you know, overlays and stuff. So I like to have the full screen, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. That's better, much better. So now we have a nice full screen, a nice vibrant screen. I do like the actual way the colors pop on the screen. They look really nice. Can't wait to check out the D-pad as well. But first, let's give it a volume test and check out those speakers. So the speakers do get plenty loud, but they don't sound the best on the loudest volume, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But at the same time, you know, who's gonna put it on that loud? You know, I don't really have them that loud. But yeah, I mean, if you're that kind of person who likes to have the speakers really loud, then do what you gotta do. But anyway, let's move on. Let's check out the D-pad. So straight away off the bat, I can pull off the Dragon Punches, the Hurricane Kicks, and the Hadoukens. So it is very Hadoukenable, and yeah, it's fine. A lot better than the RGB30 that I reviewed in the previous video. So that's a win-win. I am really liking the ergonomics too, and I do like how you can actually use all the buttons at the top as well. Now, my first impressions were that it's going to feel a little bit claustrophobic here on the back, but it's fine. I mean, it's comfortable. I've got enough space to put my fingers, and to be honest with you, I don't really like to play Street Fighter and stuff on handhelds like this because it can get a little bit cramped and stuff. So yeah, but the D-pad itself is working fine, so you can have fun whilst you're playing Street Fighter. You're not gonna have any issues, and Street Fighter only takes 10 to 15 minutes to complete the arcade mode, and that's about it. You're gonna move on to the next game. I normally do. I only play Street Fighter just to kill a bit of time. But yeah, it's a win-win. I do like the way the D-pad feels and stuff. Also, I'm using the stick here, the little Nintendo Switch style Joy-Con stick here, and this fight feels fine as well. You know, I can pull off the moves. So if you're not really a D-pad person, you can always use the analog stick and just go back and forth on whatever feels comfortable. I do that from time to time anyway. So yeah, I really do like the stick, and I also like the D-pad, but obviously we'll do another test on the actual sticks themselves. So yeah, so far so good. Okay guys, I really want to show you something. So I really want to show you the screen. The screen on this device is also amazing, just like the RGB30. The screens on these things are absolutely magnificent. The colors really pop, and they do look really good. You know, everything just looks really vibrant. And as I mentioned earlier, it is comfortable. You can put all your fingers on the back here. I don't have big hands anyway, so it feels really good in the hands and really comfortable. So yeah, I'm really liking this device. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be one of my go-to devices. I can tell already. Okay, so keeping it moving to the next game, I'm going to play some R-Type on the Game Boy Color. Now this handheld is perfect for your Game Boy Color, your Sega Genesis, your Super Nintendo, and your PS1, and all the things that basically run like a square aspect ratio. Even the Dreamcast, the GameCube, they're going to work perfectly fine on a device like this because of the actual screen size and the way it's designed, and that's why it's a unique case. And if you're asking yourself, who is it for? Well, it all depends, you know, what your use case scenario is. And if you're liking games like this, I think it's perfect for stuff like I've just mentioned. You know, it's just pick up and go, and you can have all these games at your fingertips. Next up, I think we'll try the Dreamcast, and we'll try a Shump, because these look really good on this device. I didn't bother taking off the overlay just to, you know, give you a quick demonstration of some Shumps on here, so you can have a ton of fun. I do like Shumps, and they do look perfectly fine on this device, as you can see. Next game on the Dreamcast, Crazy Taxi 2, which plays perfectly fine. No frame skips or anything like that, just standard. I've not changed it or tweaked it or anything like that, and it plays perfectly fine. The thing is with this system, guys, I haven't tinkered with it, I haven't changed it. It's straight out of the box, so this is what you're going to get as soon as you unbox the device, and this is the experience you're going to get straight out of the box. So I haven't changed the operating system or even changed any of the backgrounds or anything like that, because there's quite a few you can change and mess about with from the menus, but I haven't done any of that, and this is running straight stock. And that's why I've left it like this, because a lot of people don't like to tinker with their devices. A lot of people don't have access to actually change the operating system or stuff like that, and that's the reason why I've left it box standard, so you guys can get an idea of what you're going to get straight out of the box. Next up, we're going to play some Tekken Tag Tournament on the PlayStation 2. Now, the aspect ratio seems a little bit off, and that's because I did change it all around, but RetroArch sometimes makes the settings go back to default, so just bear that in mind. It is notorious to do that kind of stuff, so yeah, it is a little bit annoying and frustrating, but for the sake of saving time, I just thought I'll just make the video as is, and you know, you guys can do the tinkering when you get this device if you choose to get it and mess around with the settings there. But as you know, in terms of emulation for the PlayStation 2, it plays perfectly fine. There's no stuttering or juttering or anything like that, no frame skipping going on here. Everything seems to be working perfectly fine. Next up, we're going to play some Astro Boy for the Game Boy Advance. Now, as you can see, you're going to see some borders at the top and the bottom because this screen is not designed for Game Boy Advance games, but you can play Game Boy Advance. It's not a problem, not an issue. I mean, I played a ton of Game Boy Advance games and I had a ton of fun. They're fine. I mean, you can actually change them to actually, you know, play it as a 1:1 aspect ratio. And I don't mind actually doing that. It's kind of like a different experience. You don't lose any of the screen or anything like that. It just makes it a little bit stretched out. It looks a little bit weird, but at the same time, it's still playable. But yeah, this is Astro Boy on the Game Boy Advance. Okay, moving on to the PSP then. We're playing some Ridge Racer, and guess what guys, I changed the aspect ratio just for the sheer shits and giggles of it, just to see how it looks in full screen mode, and I think it looks really good and it's playable and I'm enjoying it. It's a ton of fun. So that's Ridge Racer on the PSP. The next game I'm going to check out is Street Fighter Alpha 3, again on the PlayStation Portable. I was going to say PlayStation Portal, so I had to really think about that. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to check this game out is because Street Fighter Alpha 3 used to be my PSP all the time, and I had to keep it with me wherever I had to go. And whenever I was, you know, parked up somewhere in my car or waiting for something, this would be my go-to game to have a quick blast on Street Fighter Alpha 3 and check it back in the glove box. And you know, I had the charge with me and everything. Yeah, I was a freak. I had to carry my PlayStation Portal with me everywhere, and this was my go-to game. So as you can see, it plays really well on the PlayStation Portable emulator on this said device. Gonna check out another PlayStation Portable game, and that's Soul Calibur. And the reason why I'm checking out some PSP games is because I don't know why, but if this is going to be my go-to device, I'm trying to check out for myself if I'm able to play some PSP games and enjoy them. And to be honest with you, by the looks of it, everything seems to be a-okay, and I'm gonna have a ton of fun playing some PSP games. So yeah, that's the reason why I've shown 3 PSP games on this system, because I'm gonna be playing a ton of PSP games on here. No frame skipping either, so it plays really well. Next up, we're going to try some Asphalt on the 3DS. I would like to try some different games. You know, there's a certain character with it, you know, that looks like a plumber and stuff, but we can't do that anymore. But yeah, this seems to be okay. But the only issue that I have, and let me know in the comment section down below guys if you can help me, is that this screen looks really bleached out. No matter what I did, I tried to change the settings and everything, but I couldn't get it to be the way it needs to be. This is not the way it's supposed to be. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell because I've seen it run properly before, and this is not the way it's supposed to be running. The screen is bleached, so the colour is not accurate, so to say. So I don't know how to change it. I don't know what's going on or what's happened. I've done a reboot, reset, and tried to tinker with the settings and stuff, but I still couldn't get it to be the way it needs to be. But yeah, it plays really well, plays fine, so you can actually play 3DS and DS on this system if you wanted to. Next up, we're going to play some Tetsunoko vs Capcom, or Capcom vs Tetsunoko, I don't know, whatever, on the Wii. This is one of my favourite games on the Wii. I do love this game, I do own it, and I can't, promote this game enough. If you haven't played this game, please check it out, you will love it. Anyway, this is not running properly for some reason. I don't know, I couldn't get it to work. At first it was just crashing, and then I changed some settings. The thing is, there's so much tinkering to do in RetroArch, it's unbelievable to get some certain games and certain systems to work, but you just gotta have the patience to do it, and in the end it is worth it because everything will work, trust me. Especially in this system, everything that I've thrown at it so far has worked wonderfully and I've had no issues aside from this. It does have some little frame skipping going on and slowdown and stuff, and it wasn't like that when I first played it, so I don't know what's going on. But I still managed to salvage it, and it still does look better than what it was playing at first. It wouldn't play at all like I mentioned, but now it's fine and it's still playable. Next up, we're going to play some PS1 games, and every PS1 game that I threw at the system worked really well. PlayStation is one of my favourite consoles of all time, so I played Final Fantasy VII, Gran Turismo, Metal Slug, Final Fantasy Tactics. Everything worked really well, and I can't fault it at all. So PlayStation 1 looks really good on this device, and also plays really well, and I would totally recommend you're getting it just for that. If you like the PlayStation 1, this system is worth it just for that, honestly, because there is a plethora of PlayStation 1 games that you can play all day and night. I can anyway. But yeah, PS1 plays really well. Okay, so my favourite part of the video, the reason why I actually bought this device was to play Chrono Trigger, and that's the God's honest truth. Just one game, but I'll be able to play all the other games that I've shown off and a ton more. And the reason why I want to play Chrono Trigger is because I played it a long time ago on the 3DS, well, the DS version on the 3DS, and then I played it again back to back on the iOS. And it's been years since I've actually gone back and played this game, and this device is perfect for a game like Chrono Trigger, and I can't actually wait to play it and take it with me wherever I go, because Chrono Trigger is one of my all-time favourite games, and I'm guessing it's one of your favourite RPGs of all time as well. So yeah guys, that's the reason why I bought it. For just this game, it's worth it for myself, and I'm going to have a ton of fun. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a little bit of tips and stuff, what you can do with the device. There's a lot you can actually do on this device. You can actually change these colours on the ambient lighting and stuff, so you can turn it off or change the colour or the way it does everything, like a strobing effect and all that kind of stuff, or you can turn them off completely like I mentioned. And here's how you do that. You scroll down, if you just swipe from the top, because it is a touch screen, and you can change it out the way you want it to, look and feel for yourself. I like to have them on. I do like them, especially in the dark. I like to have a little bit of an ambient light. It just gives me that little mood, when I'm playing. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of tinkering you can do with the actual device itself. It's Android based as well, so you can actually get the Play Store and download games from the Play Store. I haven't done any of that. Like I said, I'll make another video further on down the line where maybe I can show you some Android based games as well. By the way guys, I forgot to mention that my actual device did come with this carry case, this neat case. So it is awesome to have this case. You can chuck it in here if you're going to travel and stuff. Just open the case up here. You can put a cable in there at the top if you want to. Chuck your device in, nice and snug. Zip it up, and you're good to go. Carry it from the handle if you want to. Chuck it into a bag. Do what you gotta do. Just to summarize then guys, here we have the Power Kitty RGB30 and also the RG Cube next to each other. Now These are worlds apart in terms of prices and in terms of what each device can do. But to be honest with you, if you're just going to buy it for one system, maybe the SNES, Genesis or a PS1, go with the Power Kiddie. You know, you're not going to have any issues there. If you're wanting to play other stuff like the 3DS and PlayStation 2 and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to be wanting to use the sticks and also the D-pad and have more comfort, then I definitely suggest the RG Cube. Well, that was it guys, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Leave some comments in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe guys. Peace.